Finally we can make this video. Set you up over here. Finally we can make the video. Yesterday it was bucketing down, it was raining, it was cold, we had only 14 degrees here, and the rain was so loud on the garage here, I could not make any useful videos. And then I started again this afternoon, but actually, well, here we are. Good evening everyone, welcome back to the episode 659B. Well, of course, it is another episode of Unplugged EV Australia. Okay, tonight I want to show you something I have crafted for you. Yes, I did something for you. I want to show you. Pure craftsmanship. I've designed something, I constructed something just for you guys. Of course, it is Outlander PHEV related. I would like to talk about the evolution of my battery in regards to the response of Mitsubishi Motors Corporation in Japan. The question and answer sheet we have discussed in the last video. And I want to ask you the question, can this be the battery or is this software related? Because I don't know the answer. So let's have a look at the evolution of my battery. I don't even know, it's not an evolution, it's a devolution. Is this a word actually? I don't know. Okay, Google. What is the meaning of the word devolution?
Here's the definition of evolution.
Nah.
The process by which different kinds of the earth.
Okay, Google, stop. What is the definition of devolution?
Here's the definition of evolution.
Freaking. Okay, Google. Devolution.
Here's the definition of devolution. The transfer or delegation of power to a lower level.
It's the second part she didn't read. It said descent to a lower or worse state. That's what my battery does. Okay, let's get started. Down, up, down. Okay, I have crafted this graph for you. That sounds bad. I have crafted this graphic for you. I have crafted this chart for you. Under the assumption 40 ampere hours is 100%. You know, when I bought the car, I could easily go to work and back and had about 13-15 kilometers left when I get home. After a while, I didn't have that much kilometers left anymore. And it was winter time, and I blamed the cold weather, of course. But even then, when it was warmer, springtime, and it was warmer again, I could not regain these lost kilometers. I could barely travel to work and back in one full charge and had only a few kilometers left. Maybe 5 maximum. And then we got into summer and nothing changed. The opposite was the case. The kilometers I had left in the car when I came home from work was declining. And this was exactly when I did research and found the PHEV Watchdog. So I downloaded it, installed it, got an OBD adapter, and what can I tell you? 78% state of health. After 56,000 kilometers, 35 kilometer of EV range at this point of time. Rang the dealer, of course, said, look, something is wrong, take the car in, have a look. The battery is down to 35 kilometers maximum range when I drive carefully. A few days later, the battery went down to 76% state of health. They took the car into the dealership and said, look, leave it with us for a few days. And this was exactly when I started the YouTube channel here. I was confused, I was scared, I was alone. Nobody else seemed to have this problem with the declining battery. I said, oh, I bought a lemon. This is only my car. So I started documenting, recording and collecting data of the car and put this all together in this wonderful YouTube channel. 5 days later, I picked up the car and oh wonder, 100% state of charge. At this point of time, we still assumed 38 ampere hours is 100%. I had the full EV range back 59 kilometers on the first drive back home from the dealership. 59 kilometers. It was amazing. And this is what you can see over here. This is the dot. It went back to 38 ampere hours. On the invoice they gave me, it stated cell smoothing procedure. No dB cam, no measurement, no reset, just cell smoothing procedure. Well, I took it. It was a $0 invoice. Had a beautiful sleep that night, of course. just to discover the next morning minus 0.1 ampere hour. Right on the next morning, 0.1 ampere hour down. And the situation did not improve in the next few days afterwards. And as you know from all my videos, it kept declining, went down. I mean, you can see all these gaps here. This is a 0.5 ampere hour drop. And you can see in the graph, it happens fairly regularly. Sometimes you've got longer stretches of 0.1 ampere hours for some reason. And then it drops again 0.5. And at the end, it was fairly consistent with about 7 or 8 drops with 0.1 ampere hour and then followed by another 0.5 ampere hour drop. This all continued for 14 months, around 21,000 kilometers traveled. I was down to 67% state of health, under 70% within 14 months. That is 1 year and 2 months. The range was awful, as you know. I drove like Miss Daisy and Barry in one person to get to work and back on one full charge. I have been overtaken by other cars 6 or 7 times during this trip. Before that, we started the conversation with Mitsubishi Motors Australia here, of course. Had long discussions, had workshops, had conference calls, millions of emails went back and forward. They finally offered to replace the battery. So the car went into the workshop again. That was beginning of this year, 2019. And came back with a 91% state of health battery. Brand new battery, brand new label. It was 2 or 3 months old. That's what I got. EV range was amazing, 55 kilometers, but at the same day, 0.1 ampere hour down already. Next day, 0.1 ampere hour down already, with a brand new battery. Brand new battery. I could not see a DB cam, I could not see a reset, I could not see anything else in the car which pointed to any procedures they may have carried out with the new battery. So of course I complained again with Mitsubishi and we tried to figure out what is going on, because the other cars which had a new battery and all the other cars which got new batteries followed the same process. Declining state of health again after the battery replacement. Not good, Mitsubishi. Then at one stage they said, okay, let's take the car back in and do the famous triple procedure. By the way, there is no trademark on this name, triple procedure. This is something I came up with, which describes only the reset, cell smoothing and DB cam. 3 procedures, triple procedure. Because it worked just fine on 2 other cars before, 3 other cars before, they went back to 40 ampere hours, which was the top level of the battery, and didn't decline anymore. They stayed on this 40 ampere hours for a long time. So I said, yeah, I want this too. So they took the car back into the workshop once again, did the triple procedure, brought the car back 2 or 3 days later, and it was fine. No declining in ampere hours, no declining in capacity anymore for a long time. I could do 64 kilometers EV range with this battery and the triple procedure. We said we found the PHEV cure. This triple procedure apparently was an advice from Mitsubishi Motors Japan to Mitsubishi Motors Australia. They were in contact, exchanging information and data, and Japan said, look, you down there in Australia, you do the triple procedure. And they said, what the hell is the triple procedure? They said, look, reset, cell smoothing, DB cam, 40 ampere hours. Give these people what they deserve. Everything was good. 400-500 kilometers traveled. First drop again. 0.1 ampere hours. And from there on, you can see the curve. Down. I even had a 0.5 ampere hour drop in capacity. And then followed by 0.1s again. Down. Until just recently. I still can not complain about the EV range, which apparently counts as the overall measurement of this car. but I can see where the journey leads. And you probably can see this as well. When you compare the old battery after a reset, the new battery without any procedures, and the new battery with the procedures, they're all going down. Pretty similar declining of the curve. Maybe in this one not as steep, but the other twos are fairly consistent going down. And now I want to ask you, because Mitsubishi said the software is okay, the software is only measuring, estimating what the actual state of health of the battery is. It does a fantastic job, it runs optimal, and if we want to determine the true state of health of the battery, we need to do a dB cam, which is correct. Only the dB cam can measure the full capacity of the battery, because they discharge the battery to 0% and then fully charge it to 100%, and the BMU monitors the situation and learns from this. And this value gets then stamped into the BMU and say, look, this is your capacity, go from there. Well, and now look at this graph again. Old battery at 76% state of health, reset. Press the reset button, 100%. I mean, 38 ampere hours. Yeah, full capacity restored, full EV range restored. The car took over 10 kilowatt hours to fully charge, from 25% to 100%, over 10 kilowatt hours. Everything was restored. I also monitored, of course, the voltages before the reset and afterwards. And I could not see any difference at all in voltages. So because I made this video and I said, look, they may take some capacity from the top buffer or the bottom buffer of the battery to restore the full EV range again. But this is not the case. And many people have told me the same. They monitored the voltage of the batteries of the cell, and there was no change before and after a reset, for example, or a dB cam or something. All these procedures, they do not change these parameters of the top and bottom buffer. So, and that's why we came up with there is something wrong with the software. The software is to blame. The software is the only thing which have changed in this situation. It's still the same battery, the same car, the same BMU, the same code, but it's only had a reset. Factory reset, back to 38 ampere hours, full capacity restored. No other changes. Must be the software, right? The new hardware, which Mitsubishi Japan claims is the problem of this whole situation, has not brought the battery back to 100%. Even it was a brand new battery. Only the triple procedure with a new battery took it back to 40 ampere hours, which is the full capacity of the battery, which it should be. We should not start at 38 ampere hours. This is misleading what they tell you. What they told us in the question and answer, 38 ampere hours is the start point because they fear they will lose 2 ampere hours during transport. If the battery would lose 2 ampere hours, which is 5% of the total capacity during transport, it would be a super bad. No battery is losing 5% during a couple of months on health. Not on state of charge, but on state of health. And here again, if the software actually measures the true state of health of the battery, as they say, and the battery was down to 87.5% state of health here, why is the battery then back to 40 ampere hours for a long time? And we had 3 more cars before mine which had the same done, new battery, triple procedure, and they drove 2,500 kilometers until the first drop. So if they are telling us 88% state of health is the true capacity of the battery, because this is what the software shows, and then with another couple of software procedures it goes back to 40 ampere hours, which is 100% of the battery, this cannot be the battery then. It doesn't make sense. And then it lasts so long to actually degrade in these other cars. This cannot be the battery. That is total nonsense. I'm not questioning that the software does not show 100% accurate state of health of the battery, of course. It is an estimate, but the software and the true capacity of the battery are not like 20% off or so. So I don't know, from this graph here I put together for you guys, what would you say is the problem? Is it the battery? Is it the software? I'm still pretty convinced it is software related. I'll link this graphic down below. You can actually download. I need to switch off this light, otherwise the camera focus. I link this graphic down below in the description of the video. You can download it, you can study it. You tell me what you think the problem of this whole situation is. This cannot be the battery. The battery cannot lose 30% capacity within 21,000 kilometers. Even if I heavily abuse the battery, I fully discharge, I fully charge, I leave it in the heat, I discharge with 10C, it would not go down that fast. So, well, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. Mitsubishi says it's the battery, I say it's the software. That's where we are at. Okay guys, so far this update of my battery evolution here. Ah, guys, here. Hang on the tripod. Yeah, that's better. Talking about Evolution. You know Evolution Australia, the shop for all your electric vehicle charging needs down in Melbourne, where I bought my EVSE and the Tesla adapter. Russell was so kind to set up a code for you guys. You can buy any product in their shop, any product, whatever you want, the most expensive charging station for your home, or just extension cables, adapter cables, whatever you want, and you will get 10% off. Use this code here. Use this code here to get 10% off. T's and C's apply. I think you need to spend at least $500 in their shop, and it is only valid until the 25th of June. It's only valid for about 2 weeks or so. So get your act together and go to the shop, have a look what they have. Charging stations, wall boxes, adapters, charging cables. They also have the world famous ZEPI charger, which makes sure that only your self-made solar power goes into your vehicle and not the dirty power from the grid. A very interesting charging station. You should check it out. You get 10% off if you buy it now. Alright guys, so far this video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm keen to read your comments and thoughts about this whole situation now. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. This is Andy from Unplugged EV Australia, signing off. You stay charged, guys. Just buy some products from Evolution. And we will all see us in the next video again. Okay, see you then. Bye bye.